I am going to do a review of a Lifetime Christmas movie from 2011, and it's called Dear Santa. And I had seen the little like thing pop up a billion times that like, the TV trying to tell me you should watch this movie, and I had never watched this movie. I started it a few days ago, so I watched it in a few sittings, but I just finished it. Oh my god, the dark circles under my eyes. Oh god, that's terrible. Terrible. Anyway, is it nap time yet? Because I think I'm almost ready. Um, it's got Amy Acker, who I love from especially the one that was on a couple of years ago. And I want to say it came out in like July, like one of the you know, uh the Christmas in July movies, Crashing Through the Snow. I want to say, love that movie. It's so good. Um, in this movie, David Hayden Jones is in it, who's been in a ton of stuff. In this movie, she plays this like socialite, for lack of a better way to put it. Like she just like lives off her parents' money, basically. And she's like looking in a store window at a dress that she wants to buy, and this note, a letter to Santa, the mailman, this very kind of irresponsible mailman, goes to get the mail out of this mailbox, and it starts blowing all over the place, and he basically catches what he can, and he's like, fuck it about the rest. And so this letter to Santa like blows right in front of her, and she reads it, and it's basically like from this little girl saying that she wants her dad to, who doesn't have, whose mom has died, and hoping that dad meets somebody basically so she can have a new mom, kind of thing. Something. I'm paraphrasing. I don't remember because that was already a few days ago when I saw that first part. So the letter pops up in front of her, and then she has the address on there. So basically, what she does is she kind of stalks this family, sort of, because she goes and like sits in front of the house, and then like follows him to where he works, or like he runs a soup kitchen. And so she goes into the soup kitchen and winds up being a volunteer. And this is where we meet like my favorite character in the movie, who is the chef guy um who works at the soup kitchen. He's fucking amazing, and I love him so much. And like he's done like a few things, but not like Hallmark or Lifetime, I don't think, except for this. And I'm like, will somebody please give him a job, because I absolutely love him. And I already forgot his name. I just looked it up. But anyway, um, so it's an absolutely ridiculous, ludicrous like situation to start with, right? And meanwhile, the dad of this little girl, David Hayden Jones, is dating this lady who obviously is terrible, but like they had dated back in college or whatever, and then broke up, and then he got together with the little Olivia's mom, who then passed away like a few years ago or whatever. So, but obviously, as soon as we meet her, we know she's terrible. And but basically, Amy Acker's character sort of works her way into their lives, because she does, she goes to the soup kitchen, and it's like changing her, because she's just been like all about just like shopping and living off her parents' money. But she genuinely is enjoying like, helping feed these people and do all this stuff. And, but there are some really funny scenes in this. And, of course, we have to have the moment where the the current girlfriend, who's a jerk, finds the letter like in her pocket or something like that, and tells David Hayden Jones about it. And David Hayden Jones, confronts her like, you're a big liar, you're terrible, and all this kind of stuff. Which, I mean, like, again, a very like non-auspicious way to start a relationship, by like stalking and not being upfront about where how you came into their lives. But of course it ends happily, because the kid the kid gets really, because the kid like really loves Olivia. They have this great Olivia really loves Amy Acker's character, and they have this great relationship and everything. But then Dad is like, look, I don't think we're going to see her anymore. Crystal is her name. I don't think we're going to see Crystal anymore because she's not who we thought she was. And so then Olivia gets mad and won't talk to her dad and stuff, and then winds up running off to, oh, in the meantime they're going to shut down the food kitchen, but like Crystal's parents have been telling her, you need to basically like go get a job or do something with your life because we're going to cut you off. But they send her like this check for $10,000. In the soup kitchen, they're getting like evicted because they're behind with the rent and stuff. So of course she takes the money that her parents sends her and she saves the soup kitchen. And this homeless guy who would like never come inside, like she had told him, if I can get this soup kitchen back like up and running and stuff, then will you come inside and have Christmas dinner? And he does, and it's all very touching. And oh, and meanwhile, before this, Olivia had run off to like this tree like that's in town, I guess, where you can go make your Christmas wish or something. And but Crystal is there, making her wish. And so then they see each other, and then the dad shows up because he of course is looking for his daughter, who's like a little kid and had run off. And it all ends very happily. They all end very happily. And then they go back to the soup kitchen, and that's when Frank, the homeless guy, comes inside and has Christmas dinner. And it's like this, again, such a ridiculous premise and such a ridiculous way to start a relationship. But I actually like loved this movie, and I would totally watch it again, because at first Amy Acker's character is just like not likable, because I mean, she's not unlikable, but at the same time, it's like, you're like, you're stalking these people, basically. So, but she's ultimately very likable, and her relationship with the chef is like so much fun. I love it so much. And yeah, it's great. I would totally recommend it, even though what I would not recommend is getting into a relationship that starts with you stalking someone, or vice versa, because that's a terrible idea. So like, you would be like, don't do what she did in this movie, even though it all ended up like great. Like, don't do that. But I would say watch the movie. So anyway, I can't believe I talked for 7 minutes about this movie from 2011. I was going to just be like, let me just do a 1-minute review about this Lifetime movie that I had time to watch. Since I'm caught up on Christmas Hallmark movies. There are still several Hallmark movies from this year that I'm not caught up in, but this is what I wanted to watch. So there you go. Anyway, as always, thanks for listening. Bye.